So like I said, we're talking about maximizing your open house. Open houses, they can be everything from incredibly simple with a few papers to super mega open houses where you're bringing your partners out, you're making it in an event. But there are a few basic guidelines to kind of focus on. And really the market, the way that it was the last couple of years, a lot of agents got away from doing open houses because, quite frankly, we just didn't need to do it. The houses were flying off the shelves. We couldn't keep them. There were lots of buyers, lots of sellers, and it was a tactic that just kind of fell by the wayside and wasn't needed. However, the market that we're in right now, if you want buyers, the number one place to find buyers is at open houses. So let's cover a few of the basics. So the benefits. Now, I think everybody can probably guess that, yes, benefits, right? Buyers, go. If you want buyers, go where the buyers are. Buyers are going to open houses. So the exposure to potential buyers, and don't discount the fact that you're also getting exposure for the public. So when you put out your signs, when you put out your open house, signs all across the neighborhood, people are seeing your brand. They are seeing you and they are recognizing you as that figure. Exposure to potential sellers, right? Nosy neighbors, potential listings. If you are consistently doing open houses in a neighborhood, people are going to say, man, that's a really hardworking agent. And if they are considering selling, they may consider you as their agent. Plus, you have the opportunity to get in front of these neighbors as well, which we'll cover in a little bit. And then exposure to your current sphere. So if you're a hardworking realtor, which you guys are all hardworking realtors, showing your sphere that you are out there and you are working has an incredible impact on your ability to really touch that sphere and get those referrals, right? So nobody's going to refer an agent that's a secret agent. They're going to refer an agent that is top of mind, and you can leverage open houses to stay top of mind. And then expose your clients' spheres, even more referrals. So guaranteed that at least 1 out of every 3 people that you know knows someone that either needs to sell their house or buy their house. So helping to get that exposure through your clients and then them taking it out to their sphere is exactly how you want your marketing to work. And with a little extra planning and a few extra steps, you can really maximize the results of an open house and stand out as a true professional. Now, before we go any further, I want to give you guys the important tip of take time to plan it. I'm sure that Renee and Tana can both attest to having realtors call them on Friday afternoon saying, I've got an open house, tomorrow. What do I do? Really take the time, look at some of these particulars that we're going to go over and select the right open house and get your materials together and do these things the right way. I guarantee you're not going to lose a lot of ground if you take an extra week and plan these things out properly. You're going to cover more ground with that. So we're going to start out with the 3 main stages of open houses. So number 1 is going to be to identify the right property. There's a lot, well, I say there's a lot. There's not really a whole lot of inventory right now, but there are homes most likely everywhere that you're looking to do an open house. However, selecting the right property is really, really step number 1 and a crucial part of not just having an open house, but having a successful open house. And then number 2, market the open house effectively. So once again, the more time you give yourself, the more effectively you're going to market it. And then number 3, set up and conduct the open house properly. So a lot of times, guys, people are skipping step 1 and 2, and they're just setting up and they're just, boom, this is all going to work out. And oftentimes it does. However, we're going to go over step 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to see why it's important for each of these. So step 1 is identifying the right property. So start out 10 days before, a minimum, ooh, excuse me, and a minimum of 5 days. So once again, please don't be the realtor that calls, Renee and Tana up Friday afternoon, said, I just decided I'm doing an open house. 10 to 5 days for planning. The mega open house, it's your storefront. So study things like the demographics of the neighborhood. Who is your ideal client and where are they moving to? Now, in real estate, every person is our ideal client, right? But try to narrow it down. Who do you really want to work with and where are they moving to? What's their price point? Location. This is a really important one that I think often gets overlooked because you're trying to maximize your exposure, right? So the location needs to be half of a mile from a busy intersection. You want eyeballs on your signs. And the location also needs to be half a mile from a grocery store. So sometimes you're not going to find the perfect property, but try to start out with these qualifications and then work out from that. Those 2 things, thinking about those 2 things in location, you will quadruple the exposure of your open house. And then what do I if I don't have a listing, right? This is another question that we get asked all the time. There's a couple of different ways to go about finding if you don't have a listing. And a lot of times people are doing open houses and they don't have listings. So FSBOs, for sale by owners, offer to do it for free. They're still going to sell their house, but being able to conduct a successful open house for them could be absolutely valuable. And, maybe they're not going to hire you as their agent. However, the point and the purpose of an open house is to capture those buyers and the potential sellers in that neighborhood. Expired listings. A lot of times expired listings don't often relist for another 6 months. So that can be a great way to get your foot in the door with those and do open houses. Canceled listings. Once again, find out why maybe they've canceled and then offer to do an open house for them. Those are 2 ways, expired and canceled listings. You may, if you are offering to do open houses, you may end up getting those listings as well. And then other realtors' listings. So always check with your broker and see what their policies are. This is very important. Some brokerages do not allow their agents to host open houses outside of their brokerage. So double check with your brokerage and see first and foremost what's available within your brokerage. You may be part of a smaller brokerage, so you may have to look outside of your brokerage, but always check with your broker first and see what the policies are. And then call the other agents, say, I would really love to host an open house. What's the best availability? Or say, I would like to do it here at this point in time. Most realtors are happy to get exposure on their homes. And then another key is look for overpriced listings. So overpriced listings, a lot of times agents are really eager to get more exposure on them. But you can come in there too and say, all right, maybe this isn't the listing for you, but I know some other great ones that are in your price range. So go in there with a plan. All right, number 2, proper marketing. Renee and I love this part. We love the marketing leading up to the event. So some of these things may seem very simple. You guys may already be doing them, but we're going to go over them because a lot of times these, some of these steps are overlooked. And the more of these steps you can incorporate into your marketing strategy, the better. Do you need to do all of these steps? Of course not, but pick out some and you'll find that you'll more thoroughly marketing your open house by following some of these steps than maybe you were before. So print a map, see where the signs go, come up with a plan, map it out, right? Flyer the closest 500 neighbors. We hear this happen all the time from realtors, right? I did an open house and nobody came. A lot of times these realtors are just setting up their signs. They're not properly informing everyone in the neighborhood of what's going on. So sending out flyers in advance to maybe the closest 500 neighbors is really, really beneficial. And there are flyers, so maybe you don't want to go like, just drop off, like, door knock and hand out 500 flyers yourself. Very understandable. There are flyer delivery services that will do this for you, and they'll do it cheaply. I think one of the services, I've got their phone number up there, does 500 for like $100. Like, this is not a very expensive service, but it's getting something done that you really need to. Maybe you guys do love door knocking. Door knocking and open houses go together like peas and carrots. So go out with your flyers, door knock with a simple script, and invite the neighbors. Neighbors love being personally invited to open houses because they really do want to go. They want to see. I mean, we all do that, right? You're like, I wonder how much that house is selling for. I wonder what it looks like inside. I wonder how it compares to my house. So go and invite the neighbors. They'll be very excited that you did. Put in the free area buy sell groups and the community Facebook pages. Of course, double check and make sure it's permitted. But those are great areas to go ahead and get a little bit more exposure. Once again, social media, right? I love social media. Facebook community pages are a great place to do that. Circle prospecting. So email and calls to maybe the closest 50 or 100 neighbors and invite them and let them know about the open house. Once again, neighbors love to know. Broker opens. This is usually done for more high-end properties. So homes in Phoenix, I would say $1 million plus. Broker opens are great. And broker opens, if you guys haven't heard about them, what they are is it's basically like an open house for brokers only. So you get a lot of realtors coming in there and previewing the home and giving you a lot of feedback. And who knows, maybe they even have a buyer for it. Particularly if it's your own high-end listing, broker opens are really a great way to get eyeballs on your property. And then neighborhood private showings prior to public open houses. I'm going to go back to, once again, neighbors love being invited and they love seeing their neighbors' homes, particularly when they're for sale. So maybe you've got open houses scheduled on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe Friday evening, you do the private neighbor showing. Emailing your own database. Of course, this has multiple benefits. In real estate, your database is everything, right? So, but you never know, even though maybe you just sold somebody a house or maybe somebody else moved out of town, you never know though who they know that might be looking and who may show up to an open house. So email, send away, do a video on your social media, inviting people to the open house, promote. And videos are a great way to get information out, and social media, once again, awesome. And then last but certainly not least, ask the sellers to share the invitation with their sphere and on their social media. People love knowing what's going on. So get your sellers, especially if they're your sellers, it's your listing, get them involved in the process as well. And then last tip, signage is key. you can never have enough directional signs. Honestly, the more signs, the better. The more top of mind, the more exposure, the better. I mean, I would even recommend between, 10 plus signs minimum. You can, and like I said, as many as you have. You can also interchange signs. So not every single sign that you're putting out necessarily needs to be your branded signs. A lot of times, if you put your branded signs as well as mix in generic ones, it makes it look like there's even more going on in the neighborhood. Maybe all of the signs point to your open house. However, if I'm driving by and I see multiple open house signs, I may think, maybe there's more than one open house going on in this neighborhood. I think I'll swing by and check it out. So that's a really good tip as well. So a few samples on open house designs. These are flyer designs. These are some of the ones that we've done here at Landmark Title. This is a service that we can offer you here at Landmark Title. We have an amazing design team, and they can come up with beautiful flyers, preferably request before Friday afternoon. But yes, send over the information. You can send over the MLS link to Renee, and she can order these for you. And they are absolutely beautiful and stunning in so many ways.
And really quick, Sarah, if I may, if it does happen to fall last minute, we also have additional resources to give you with Breakthrough Broker that allows you to have that templated open house flyer. And I can walk you through setting that up and being able to design those or help you create those in addition.
Absolutely, yes. We have such a plethora of resources that obviously I'm requesting that we do these things in advance because honestly, it makes your life easier. It makes Renee's life easier, but we are always available. Even if it's Saturday morning and you're like, Renee, I'm literally on my way to an open house. What am I going to do for flyers and information? Renee will be like, I'm on it. I got you. Like we are always there. We always have a solution for just about every issue that you could possibly come up with because we're problem solvers over here at Landmark Title. So let's talk about the actual event because we actually have some really great tools for your event as well. Renee mentioned we've got open house kits, and I actually have, after I talk about a little bit of the particulars about it, I'll show you some of the items that we have in our open house kits. And guess what, guys? They're free. Yeah, that's the best. They're not only free, but they're thorough. I mean, our design team puts these together and they go even as far as to make sure that you've got, sticky notes and tape and a permanent marker in there, which the first time I got one of these, I was like, wow, they thought of everything. You never know when you might need tape, right? But we do. We cover it really well, along with some of the things that you'll need that I'll show you. So proper event setup, an event, is a great way to turn leads that are going to come to your open house into clients, because that's really why you're there. So these are suggestions too, because everybody conducts their open houses a little bit different. But get your signs out early, as early as 6 a.m. I mean, I've known realtors that even put their signs out the day before, because let's face it, the more exposure, the better, right? You don't want to start an open house at 10 o'clock and 9:45 you're putting your signs out, right? You want to get people coming and going well before your actual event. If you're putting your signs out early, make sure you're putting a note on the house though, that says come back at. So if I'm putting out my signs at 6 a.m., but my open house doesn't start till 10 a.m., I definitely want to make sure that I'm communicating that. Having a come back at sign too, that you can change out times, is a really great idea as well, because you never know, when you might need to like go grab lunch really quickly, like you've got a lull in what's going on. And you need to put that sign on there because maybe your open house is not done for the day and you're going to come back. It's also great to have a comeback later sign too. If you happen to have clients that come in and maybe they want to see another house in the neighborhood. And if it's a busy open house, you obviously stay at your open house. But if it's not that busy and you have the potential to get more FaceTime with a potential client, put a sign out, come back to your open house. It's okay to do that sort of thing. But you obviously have to feel out the situation as well, but having a sign, a come back at sign, very important. And then prep the house. Make sure go through, everything's picked up, all the lights are on, the house is showing in its best way. Once again, you don't want to walk in at 9:45 and be like, all right, open house time. Get there early, get set up. And then proper signage, flags. With open houses, the bigger, the better. The more signs, the more flags, the more of a presence that you can show, the better. Because, right, it's all about getting attention for it. Make a video for your YouTube, for your social media, maybe a Facebook Live right before the event. You never know who is following you that might want to stop by that open house. Set up a table for registration by the front door. The whole reason that you're doing these open houses, guys, is to capture people's information. Sometimes it's tougher. You will never have an open house, I think, where everybody comes in, they're just like, yeah, that's so great, you can have all my information. It's a hard thing for people to do, but that's why you're there. So this is your time, right, that you're spending. Make sure that it's worth the effort. And you can always put a sign out that says something like, per the seller's request, please sign in. There are some very creative ones I've seen out there about, make sure that the seller, my seller knows that I'm actually here working and wearing pants, please sign in. So you can get creative with it if you want. But having a sign and making the request, you've got to have people sign in. And then a guest registry on several clipboards. People don't want to wait. So if it's busy, you want to make sure that multiple people have the ability to sign in at the same time. And then items to have at your open house, sign-in sheets, feedback forms. Those are really important. Listing books, have more information about the house and the neighborhood. Buyer and seller relocation guides. Really important to have little bits of information that people can take away with them that have your information. Lists of other properties for sale in the area. This is a really great one too, because maybe somebody walks in and this is just not the house they're looking for, but maybe this is the neighborhood. Being able to say, well, guess what? I know of other listings in the area. That's really going to be important. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, if it's slow at your open house, take these people immediately over to see these other listings if you can. For sale flyers, take away fun items. People love stuff. They just really love stuff. Having coloring books or something kind of activity for kids. Now, crayons, just keep an eye on kids in other people's houses with crayons. But fun little items is really great. Little stuffed animals or something for the kiddos. Market stats. Ooh, market stats. We've got some great programs here at Landmark too, where we can give you up-to-date market stats that you can have available for clients. It's going to make you look like a really intelligent realtor in the know to have those market stats and be able to interpret them. Pop-by items. Make up monthly pop-by items and have these available. If you need more information about what pop-by items are, Renee would love to tell you about it. I think she's even has some pop-by classes and just a plethora of ideas on little creative ways to brand yourself. So have some of these items available at open houses. And then, of course, snacks and drinks. People love to eat and they love to drink. So make sure that you're fulfilling some of their other needs there as well. All right, guys, as promised, here's a few of the items that we have in our open house kits. So we've got, flyers on the home buying process. We've got feedback forms. We've got sign-in forms. And then as you can see, this last flyer right here basically itemizes everything that is in our open house kits. These open house kits, y'all, are just a wealth of value. If you guys, it takes all the guesswork. Like, you can literally do everything with these open house kits that we put together for you. So even if you are, on the fence about doing an open house, reach out to Renee. Ask her for one of these. I guarantee I get excited when I look at these kits. And odds are good you will too, and it really will. It'll take so much of the guesswork out of doing what you need to do. One of the other items that we were saying, some fun little takeaway, right? So having information that is maybe non-real estate related, like the top 10 hiking trails. Arizona, people move here for these trails. They move here for the activities. They move here for our, sports teams. We've got every sports team here. We've got everything going on. So having something, maybe you're in Glendale, you're near the Cardinal Stadium, put together a Cardinals, and these are things we put together actually for you and can brand for you. And then of course, market stats. So this doesn't have to be just, like I said, like a boring, sheet with just some numbers on it. These can be fun, attractive marketing pieces that are branded to you. Maybe somebody comes into your open house and they don't even really want the flyer on the house. I even know realtors that don't have the flyers available because they want you to contact them again. But I'll tell you what, as a football fan or as a hiker, I see these other papers in there. I'm going to grab one. I'm going to take it. And it's got your contact information on it. So have fun with a little bit of some of the other items that are available. And then bonus, to attract attention in the neighborhood, use some fun things. Noodlemen. These are really a fun way to get attention at an open house. Like we all drive by, the grand opening of the car wash, and they've got the noodlemen and they're out doing their things. You can't look away. You see them, you look at them, you want to know what's going on. Open houses are the same thing. You see them, something's happening. I got to go find out what's going on. And then additional bonus, have your lender on site. Renee and Tana were just mentioning, these are things that they'll do with you guys. To have industry partners that are willing to sit by you at an open house and help you, use them, utilize them. There is no better feeling in the world than having a buyer walk into an open house and say, I think I'm ready to buy, but I don't know what the next step is. And you as the realtor be like, I've got you. This is my lender, Tana. She's going to get you pre-qualified right now. And then we're going to take you out. We're going to go look at houses. And, that's why we do this, right? We do this to help find people the homes of their dreams. And by doing open houses, you have such an opportunity to really get in front of these people. All right. So you had an amazing open house. You marketed it perfectly. You took the time that you needed to. Now we got the follow-up. So once again, this is an important component to maximizing what you did at the open house. You may have executed everything perfectly, but if you don't follow up, then you will have the potential to have these leads just slip through your fingertips. So first and foremost, of course, you've collected everybody's information. So send a video thank you text to people who came. People retain 95% of what they see on video. versus 10% of what they read in text. So videos, don't underestimate the power of that, and send it before you even leave your open house for the day. Film it in the house and send it out to the people that attended. The fact that you did that immediately will stay top of mind with people. Thank you emails to the attendees as well. You've got their information, use it. Also, set up drip campaigns. So figure out what these people were interested in, what they're looking for, and then put them on the proper drip campaigns. Post a thank you or the result of a successful open house on your social media, right? If you knew people that, even if nobody from your social media stopped by, treat them like they did and put that information out there. Once again, you want to stay top of mind with your sphere. And then connect with attendees on social media. So you've got their name, you've got their information, right? Go ahead and follow them on social media, friend them on social media. If you're doing a lot of marketing there, these people, the more they see you, the more they're going to trust you. Calls, pick up the phone, call the attendees and let them know that you are there for any of their real estate needs. And then remember that a lot of times it takes time to nurture open house leads. Most of the people that walk into an open house, they're not going to buy tomorrow. Sometimes it can be years. So make sure that your systems are in place for up to 1,000-day lead
Where are you
follow.
going? Oh,
All right. A couple more things to cover. Sales funnels, right? So open houses fall perfectly into our sales funnel, which activities, leads, appointments made, appointments conducted, results in clients, and under contract. And then, obviously, then these people become your past clients. So activities would be your open house, right? You're getting leads at your open house. You are following up, and that means you are making appointments with these people. You are conducting the appointments. Then they have become your client. You get them under contract. Boom. Sales funnel. Simple stuff, but that's it, guys. That's the nuts and bolts of creating a successful open house and maximizing it to its full potential. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Of course, like I said, Renee and Hannah, they're here to help you with all these materials. They're here to help you with every step of the way through an open house. And this really is a great activity for any real estate agent at any level of their business. If you find yourself, not as busy as you would like to be in real estate, conduct an open house, and I guarantee you're going to get business from it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was fantastic. Did anybody have any questions for Sarah or for Tana and I? Okay.
I'm used to that. I do webinars all the time, and a lot of times there's a lot of information just firing.
No worries. Yeah,
Good.
we're going to reach out either way, because again, we want to make sure that you have the support that you need. As Sarah just did give you a plethora of information, so you have to let it all soak in. But actually being able to visualize these items when we meet with you makes a world of a difference when you can see it in person. So that's our goal, is to be able to have that opportunity to share this with you in person. Tana, did you have anything in addition you wanted to add?
I didn't. Sarah, you did a really great job. And I just want to reiterate, like what you said towards the end, is just that get out and do open houses. Like it's, you don't have to do it on a Saturday. You can do it during business hours, and it'll just start building up your pipeline of buyers that, you might get lucky and somebody buys right away, but you'll be building your business for the rest of the year by getting started now.
whenever you want to. I mean, I overate for breakfast, but
Absolutely.
it was about 10 o'clock when I ate.
Emily, you're not on mute, just so you know.